I'm Lauren Green, and you're in the strategy room. GOP presidential hopeful Ted Cruz attended the National Federation of Republican Women's annual conference this weekend as part of his strategy to woo female voters. But with a crowded GOP field that includes a female candidate, what does the Texas senator need to do to win the women's vote? Here with reaction are political strategists Jessica Tarlov and Lee Carter. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Okay, Cruz was the only male candidate there. The rest of them, Mike Huckabee, I think, sent his wife, Janet, and then Carly Fiorina was obviously there. So what do you make of this? You know, why him going to this women's conference?
I think
good strategy?
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Okay.
I mean, I think that he looks and he needs a constituency. He doesn't have one. And I think he's saying, you know what, I don't think Trump can get women. I'm going to go after this. You know, does it seem genuine? Does it seem authentic? When you watch some of the video of it, it almost feels stilted. It's sort of like Mitt Romney when he would try and roll up his sleeves a little bit. He didn't feel comfortable. So are women going to really respond to him? I don't know. I think people are going to appreciate that he's there trying, but I'm not sure that he was able to break through.
I mean, what do you think? What do you think, Jessica?
I really don't like Ted Cruz.
Oh, okay,
That's really what I think. And
that's going to influence your answer here.
it is, but I am in the Democrat chair, so I had to say that. To Lee's point, it feels stiff and strange to see him up there. I think there is some appreciation for him showing up in person, certainly, to advocate for this, because his wife has been a very strong surrogate for him in the women's community, and she is really top-notch. I mean, she's an MD at Goldman Sachs, and she's quite an amazing lady, but at the end of the day, his policies are not good for women. You know, when you think about the fact that 2/3 of people earning the minimum wage today are women, and we haven't seen a raise in the minimum wage since 2009. You know, his idea, even if you're pro-life, you know, he doesn't support an exception for rape or incest. These are hot-button issues for women, you know. I think even on the right, when people say, like, oh, it's not a big deal, but he's crusading to defund the government over Planned Parenthood funding, which 48% of people say that they're not in favor of, even if 70% plus of Republican caucus goers are saying that they wanted to fund Planned Parenthood. So I don't know where this gets him.
Well, Lee brought this up, though, because he's sort of pitting himself as the alternative to Donald Trump. I mean, is this a good strategy? Because Donald Trump keeps, let's be clear, he's kind of putting his foot in it when he's talking about women.
Yeah, I think it's a strategy. And I think it's really, I think it's very, very interesting that he's really talking more about Planned Parenthood with women than the Republican women, than he is talking about abortion. And I think in some ways that's calculated, because a lot of people equate Planned Parenthood with abortion rather than all the things.
Mistakenly equate
Yeah, it is, but it's a really, really interesting thing, because the Republican voters are saying, I'm totally opposed to Planned Parenthood. He's trying to keep himself out of those conversations about abortion with rape and incest, and it's an interesting strategy. I'm not sure it's going to pay off for him enough. He's really far behind, and we're not seeing a big increase in his popularity among women.
Well, Jessica, you made some really good points about, you know, what the GOP is lacking in terms of appealing to female voters. So what do
Even
they need
from
to
Carly
do?
Fiorina.
But what do they need to do to attract more female
Well, they
voters?
need to look at the polls, the national polls that show things like over 60% support for gay marriage, over 60% support for a woman's right to choose. And if you want to go for 20-week bans, I understand that. There's a viability argument to be made there. But they need to seem more flexible. This is where I think John Kasich has really been shining in his first debate answer about gay marriage, where they said, what would you do if your daughter was gay? And he said, it's not how I choose to live my life. It's not the way that I necessarily think things were supposed to be, but I would show up and I would smile and I would support her because I love her. And that's really where I think the whole country is going. And the GOP has a lot of young people who are interested in them because of their economic platform, because they're about opportunity versus redistribution. And they're not going to be able to translate those into that block into votes if they keep going crazy on social issues. So tone it down. You know?
Well, okay, well, you get the last word here.
Well, I think that you make a really good point about Kasich. I think Kasich has a really, really positive message. He's very neutral, and I think he's somebody that we're not talking enough about.
Yeah.
He's done some really great messaging, and I think we should watch out with him for women. When he
Well,
talks
once
about
it all
gay marriage,
crumbles
talks
around him,
exactly.
let them all scream at each other, and then see the nice guy from Ohio rise up.
He's just going to wait in the wings right now.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much, Lee and
Thank
Jessica. And you can check out foxnews.com for more on the 2016 presidential race. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.